Hello and welcome to Fast Horses Today for Saturday. Today is March 21st. We're going to be covering the races over at Santa Anita, the Great Race Place. So let's get started. Big Saturday of racing. There's some nice races around the country. I know that Turfway Park's got a big card there. There's some nice fields there. So if you're playing that, I wish you the best of luck. But I'm going to focus in on Santa Anita. Santa Anita has a first post time of 1:10 Pacific, so that's 3:10 here in the Central Time Zone. They had reported that they were going to be starting their race card about 10 minutes later than originally scheduled. I don't know if it has something to do with the weather. They've been having some, unseasonably really hot days there, so maybe that's the case. But anyway, they're looking to start their race card about 1:10 Pacific. So if you're going to the track, you got a few extra minutes if you get stuck there on the 210 freeway. But anyway, let's get started. The card is a pretty nice card they put together here. I've got a win bet, as well as I'm going to look into that late pick 5, which does start in the 5th race. We'll first skip over the first couple races. I've got a win bet, which is going to be in the 3rd race of the day. 3rd race has approximate post time about 2:05 Pacific, so that's 4:05 here in the Central Time Zone. This is a mile on the dirt, and these are California-bred first-level allowance horses. There's also a $20,000 claim option here, and as I look through, none of them are in for the claim, so this is like a true allowance race. Nobody's in for the claim. Small field here, but I've got a horse I want to make a bet on. I think we're going to get a decent price on this horse, so I think there's value. And that's on the 2 horse who is refocused. For Doug O'Neill, Antonio Fresu takes the call. Now, Doug O'Neill's been doing everything right over at the Santa Anita meet. This horse is 2-1 in the program. I think we're probably going to get somewhere around there. There is a horse, the 3 horse Coach Cronin. Coach Cronin's going to be your favorite. 6-5 in the program. Out of the Mark Latt barn, and maybe a hunch play for the UCLA Bruins fans there trying to bet on Coach Cronin to win and survive in advance, if you will. But anyway, I'm going to go with the 2 horse here with a win bet. I like the last few races this horse has run. I like the experience this horse got last time being around 2 turns. Was a favorite that day. Had come off a pretty nice sprint race, getting beat by Titanic Thompson, who was really tough that day. But, Refocus came out in after that race to run in a mile race. Like I said, I thought the race was pretty nice. It was an even effort. Probably needed that experience of 2 turns. I think that should make this horse really ready here. And we'll make the win bet in the 3rd race on the 2 horse, Refocus. So let's skip over to the 5th race. 5th race does start the late pick 5. That has an approximate post time about 3:09 Pacific, so that's just after 5 o'clock here, Central Time Zone. The 5th race is a mile on the grass. This is a starter allowance race, and this is your traditional starter allowance where you've got multiple winners here. These are horses who have started for $16,000 or less in the last 2 years, and these are fillies and mares. And I've got 2 horses I'm going to put in here. I feel one of these horses will get our pick 5 started, and we can go from there. And we'll use that survive in advance method because this is March Madness season. So I'm going to put the 2 horse who is There's a Silver Lining for the Steve Knapp barn. Armando Ayuso takes the call. This horse, like most of them, don't have a very deep turf record. This horse has only run 1 time on the turf, off the board finish. That was back at Del Mar back in the summer. But I think this horse comes in pretty nice form. And, just to be a matter of if she likes the turf, which I don't think it should be a problem for any of these horses, to be quite honest. They should all be fine over the grass. The 2 horse is 3-1 in the program. As I mentioned, Ayuso takes the call. I think she should be live in this California allowance level here, since she's run well at these levels previously. So we'll go with the 2. They're also going to put the 5 horse, who is Thirsty Trickster, for Jeff Mullins. Jeff Mullins legs up Tiago Pereira. Now, this horse has not tried the turf, so this will be first time for her. Again, I don't know that, there are no turf monsters in this race. So, Jeff Mullins, a long time ago, many years ago, he declared himself as a turf trader. And, he certainly has been, a lot of that, and seemed to be doing a lot of focus on turf horses. And actually, Mullins could train anything. To be quite honest, he's been really good. Certainly been really good at the Santa Anita meet. So hard to take off a Mullins horse off your card, off your ticket. So Thirsty Trickster certainly has been running in these California allowance races. Has been running some nice races, some even races. She's 5-2 on the program. So it's just a matter of if she likes the turf, which again, I think they'll be fine. Maybe this horse goes to the lead. I don't know. Since it's been some hot weather there in Arcadia, that turf course might be pretty hard and fast, given the weather situation there. So we saw some speed horses win yesterday, running some fast fractions and staying on, and maybe we'll see much of the same today. So Thirsty Trickster, off her sprint races, might get out to the lead. We'll see. We'll leave it up to the connections. Mullins knows what to do. But I think we'll start the 2 and the 5. We'll start off that 5th race, start off that late pick 5. All right, let's go to the 6th race of the day. 6th race is another California bred race. These are fillies, maiden $50,000 horses here. These filly 3-year-olds, so 3-year-olds only, and they're going 6 furlongs on the dirt course, so a dirt sprint here. Now, if you wanted to single a horse, I wouldn't blame you, that being the 2-horse Lindy's Dream. I'm going to put 2 horses in. I'm going to put the 1 horse who is Surprise Dioro for Hector Palma. Hector Palma legs up Tiago Pereira. I think Pereira has some live horses today. Now, this horse comes out of the same race as Lindy's Dream. They both got beaten by Another Zero. Another Zero was a very, very ready winner that day. It was going to be really tough to beat Another Zero that day. But I felt like in watching the film, if you ran well with her, I give you a lot of credit there that day. So both of these horses come out of that Another Zero race. Lindy's Dream ended up finishing better than Surprise Dioro. Surprise Dioro had some excuse, breaking from the rail, not getting out there too well. I thought she gave a good account of herself, and I think she'll be much better here, dropping into $50,000 level. It's quite a good drop there from the special weights. She might surprise Dioro, might surprise us here. So 6-1, we'll put her in. Then we will put the 2 horse, who is Lindy's Dream. Now, Lindy's Dream comes in for the Antonio Garcia barn. Garcia puts Ayuso on the horse. I think Ayuso has several live mounts today as well. Now, Garcia's, charge here, this horse ran up against his other barn mate, and Another Zero came out of the Garcia barn. So, I thought the horse ran a really nice race in the maiden special weights. She's got 2 starts. She's run well both times, to be quite honest. And I think this, race sets up nicely for her. But we'll put the 1 and the 2 in the 6th race to get that pick 5 moved along. All right, now let's move over to the next race. That next race being the 7th race. This is the feature of the day. This is your usual St. Patrick's Day. Around St. Patrick's Day, Santa Anita does have this staple on the calendar. That would be the Irish O'Brien Stakes, $100,000 race. These are Calbreds, fillies. They are 4-year-olds and up, and they're going down the hill as they traditionally do in the Irish O'Brien. We've got some really nice horses in this race, including the favorite, who is Grand Slam Smile. Grand Slam Smile has been a really nice racehorse in California. She's very versatile. She's done so many different things. Has won many times on the grass, won many times on the dirt. She's shown a really nice record down the hill. She's 6-5 and every bit worth that. Billy Anton Georgi makes an appearance back in Southern California. Anton Georgi moved his tack over to Kentucky, but I see he's listed to ride back on this horse. I would guess that he probably misses her. And Sean McCarthy probably saw fit to bring Anton Georgi back. He's done a lot of great work with this horse. I really, can see this horse winning this race again. So you're certainly going to put her in there. I am going to put another horse in. We'll see. The ticket's not a big ticket today, so we'll take a chance here. Maybe, anything can happen. She could get beat. I'm going to also put the 4 horse, who is Take Another Card. Take Another Card out of the Simon Callahan barn. Antonio Fresu takes the call. Now, this will be the first time Fresu takes the call. This horse, I thought, ran some nice races recently, including a 2nd place finish to Grand Slam Smile. I thought she made a really nice account of herself, that being in the Sunshine Millions Filly and Turf, which was also down the hill. So she's got a limited record down the hill, 2 starts and a 2nd. So, I thought she's run nicely in those races. Fresu takes the call. She's 5-1. If Grand Slam Smile is not, at her best today or something goes amiss, certainly Take Another Card could be tough. So we'll put the 1 and the 4 in the feature race, that being the Irish O'Brien. All right, now let's move over to the 8th race of the day. 8th race is a 6-furlong dirt sprint, and these are starter allowance company, 4-year-olds and up. These are open company horses. So this is your traditional starter allowance condition, but they also put the $32,000 claim here. And I'm guessing if they didn't do that, this race would not have filled, because a couple of these horses are in for that $32,000 claim. So, you've got multiple race winners here. You've got some, a woolly veteran bunch here, and, some nice runners. There is a favorite here that if he's on his best, it'll probably be lights out for this field, but we're going to take 3 horses here and take a shot. I'm going to put the 1 horse, who was Bellotti for Craig Delassie. Delassie has 2 horses in this race. I like the higher price. Ayuso takes the call here. This horse has been, just in and around these type of level of races, has done some nice sprinting in his career. 8-1, we're going to take a shot here. Delassie's putting his horse in for $32,000, so that makes him eligible here. We'll take a shot at 8-1 with Armando Ayuso. Going to also put another long shot in, being the 2 horse, Chasin' Money. Chasin' Money comes out of the Librado Baraccio barn, which Baraccio's had a really nice meeting, very high percentage winner, with horses from his barn. Baraccio claimed this horse last year and claimed this horse for $8,000. And this horse is coming off a long layoff, but he sees fit to put this horse in there. So I'm going to trust in Baraccio, given the fact that he's done some nice work. His horses have been really, really running nicely. And 20-1, we're going to take a shot here with Kyle Frey. This horse certainly does fit in this bunch. Has won, at these type of claiming levels, and just seems to fit. 20-1, I think, is a big price here. We'll try Chasing Money. And then I will put the favorite being Banyik. Banyik comes in for John Sadler. Now, Sadler puts this horse in for $32,000, which does make him eligible because this horse had not run for less than 25. So Banyik had been running with some of the better sprinters there in Southern California and not running poorly. So, again, as I first mentioned, if Banyik is at his best today, it's probably lights out for these guys. But we're going to see. The Sadler barn hasn't been that great. And certainly is disappointed with some short prices. So this could happen too, but we'll put Banyik in here, 8-5, Antonio Fresu, and see if he's going to be best today. So we've got the 1, 2, and 6 there in the 8th race. All right, now let's go to the 9th race of the day. Now, I did mention the feature being the Irish O'Brien. I guess that's a co-feature because we do have a grade 3 here in the 9th race to cap off the day. The San Luis Rey, grade 3, there's 1.5 miles on the grass. So a nice things at Santa Anita, the 1.5 mile races, they come from like halfway down the hill, they make that bend, and then they go around the track one time, and that's 1.5 miles. I certainly like that layout better than most 1.5 mile races on the turf in North America. A lot of times they're starting pretty much on that far turn, and outside horses kind of are disadvantaged. But in this layout here, running down the hill, everyone seems to have a even start there and see what they can do. So this grade 3, I find it pretty open. I'm going to put 4 horses in to try and pay us off. Hopefully get a couple prices in there. And we've got 4 horses in coverage. I think we'll be in a good spot. I'm going to put the 1 horse who is flashiest. Flashiest for Leonard Powell. Powell's barn is done a lot better, I feel, in the last couple weeks. Ayuso's on the horse here. Ayuso has been riding this horse the last few times. I really like Flashiest last race. Flashiest was a big price. Ended up coming second to Mondego, that being in the grade 3 San Marcos. Now, if you look at Flashiest's record over the last couple years, it looks like it's been a long time between drinks, and it has. But I think that Flashiest seems to be in good shape. This is an old timer who's done some nice work, has done some nice work at Santa Anita. So, could certainly get it done at 1.5 miles. And, I don't know. It looks to me like there's really no confirmed speed here. At one time, Flashiest used to be a drop back and make one run, but looks like he's been running closer lately. We'll see what the tactics are on the 1 horse Flashiest, but we will put him in there. Also going to put the 2 horse who is truly quality for Jonathan Thomas and Augustin Stables, 5-2 in the program. Antonio Fresu takes the call here. Now, Fresu, this is the first time he's been on this horse. This horse ended up running a nice race in the San Marcos as well, coming 3rd to Mondego. Now, in watching that film, it just looked to me like Mike Smith really had truly quality trailing way too far back and gave the horse way too much to do. So, we'll see if Fresu gives this horse a more aggressive ride or a different ride. 5-2, you never take out Jonathan Thomas off your tickets. It's a tough thing to do there in Southern California when he trains for Augustin Stables. They got a lot of live horses and win a lot of races. So we will put the 2 horse, truly quality. Going to put the 4 horse in, that being Gold Phoenix. I was originally going to take Gold Phoenix out, but the way the ticket is created here today, we could afford to put that horse in. 7-5. I'm not sure, if Gold Phoenix is maybe better at Del Mar. I don't know. He also came out of that San Marcos race, was wide, for a good part of that race, and maybe just kind of got tired out in his first race off a little bit of a layoff. So he's an old timer, 8-year-old. He's got a wonderful record, having won a lot of races and earned a lot of money. we'll put Gold Phoenix in there. If he's on, certainly he'll be very tough in this kind of race. And I am going to put the 5-horse Mondego. Mondego from Michael McCarthy. Ismael Jaramillo on the horse. He comes off a really nice win at a good price. It was about 9-1 that day in the San Marcos. Had a beautiful trip. Ismael Jaramillo gave this horse a beautiful ride, saved all the ground, tipped out in the stretch, and got it done. He's 6-1 today, so I think Mondego can certainly repeat in that effort. He'd beaten several of these. He's run with these horses. And, let's just face it, Ismael Jaramillo is a really good jock, and he knows what to do. I mean, you just see this guy winning all different types of races, wins on all surfaces, different distances. Jaramillo has been a difference maker there in Southern California. So Mondego is going to be tough again in this San Luis Rey. So I'm going to put the 1, 2, 4, and 5 in the last race. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the bets. Okay, so for Saturday, March 21st, we've got a couple bets at Santa Anita. We're going to make a win bet in the third race. We're going to go with the 2-horse Refocus. Let's move over to the 5th race, the late pick 5. We're going to start that out with the 2-5, with the 1-2, with the 1-4, with the 1-2-6, with the 1-2-4-5. Now that ticket's a $48 ticket, which I feel is very affordable today. Gives us some good coverage. We'll see if we can, pull some prices out of this. If you decide to play it as is, I wish you the best of luck. You can always add or subtract to it. You can play the pick 3s within it, play the pick 4 within it. Whatever you decide to do, I wish you the best of luck. Let's wish the folks over at Santa Anita a very safe day of racing, and around the country, let's wish the folks over around the country a very safe day of racing. So as always, I thank you so much for watching Fast Horses today and listening to the picks. And by the way, let's wish ourselves some good luck and some great trips. That always makes a difference. So again, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It just puts you on the feed. Content gets delivered to you for free. You can like, dislike, make comments. Make good comments, make bad comments. I promise to respond to everything. And let's create a discussion. So best of luck today. We'll have more coverage for tomorrow at Santa Anita, the Great Race Place. Have a wonderful day.